So, this UV map, this gun is already in a really, it's got a nice rounded layout. It's already been increased in size. So you can see the try count right now is about 10,000. That's about where you want to be, 10 to 30,000. If you find that it's too low, you're definitely going to want to increase your tries before you do any of this UV mapping. So now that we have all this, you might have multiple objects. What you want to do is you want to select them all in object mode, and you want to combine them by shift right clicking and then choosing combine. So what you need to do is have this all in one object right here. Now once you've done that, it seems like UV Automatic does a pretty good job of starting you off at least. And to kind of make sense of some of this, you'll know that some of the big ticket UV maps are going to be these ones that you can see right here. So this face, and this face, and you can see that they're all laid out really nicely right here. But there is some stuff that we can do to make our job a little easier later. So a lot of these like little ones up here, they're all kind of separate. Most of these are fine. The only ones that I'd probably do something to are these ones right here. And you can see that this tube is a bunch of different pieces. These are all of them right there. And what I'm going to do on those is a UV cylindrical. And if we apply that, here's what it's going to do. Let me push this off to the side so we can see this. And I'm going to actually, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a gray circle right there. You see that? It's facing the wrong direction though, so I need it to wrap around this cylinder. And I'm going to do that by rotating it. And I rotate it by clicking, I always forget which one it is. You have to click one of the, this T right here. And then I'm going to go to the front view. And I'm going to rotate this circle so that it is aligned, and you can see on the right it should look like a square once it's done. Right. So let me go back to perspective view, and you can see that I might need to make this a little bit longer and a little bit smaller. So it should just wrap around there. Oops. Like so.
Wait, so what are you currently trying to do?
I'm trying to wrap this all together in one. It was a bunch of different pieces, and that'd be really hard to texture. So now that I've done that, you can see what it looks like. And always we want to have, so I'm done with that part. I can just go ahead and grab the shell now. And I always want to have squares instead of rectangles, so I'm just going to squish it until there's squares. So that is going to be much easier to work with than what it was looking like before. I'm just checking everything. The only thing that there's a problem with is this one right here. Actually, no, that's already been done for us. So those are fine. It's multiple shells, and I'm not sure why. Oh, one's the inside, one's the outside. So yeah, actually that's it. So then once you have all those, you can just go back here and lay them out. And it should shrink those. My layout's taking a long time because I set the settings to be really high. And then I'm just going to show you a couple other things you can do to kind of optimize this for later on. It's almost done. There we go. So now it put the tube, there's the inside, there's the outside, and then the front is somewhere sticking around. The only other thing is, if you're painting, and let's say you wanted to put like a little detail here, like a little, I don't know, you wanted to, if I can get Painter up. Let's say you want to just like embed a little mark right there. I don't know exactly what, but in Painter, I'm going to get this to load for a second. I'm going to open up my recent gun. And you can see here, I was just playing around with mapping this. When I put some details right here, those little edges, it didn't happen on the other side. And that's because they aren't stacked. So what you might want to do, if you definitely know you want to have some really cool stuff like this, and you probably don't because this is all new to you, but it's probably good practice to do it anyway. See these two, they're opposite ends right over there? Yeah. If you shift right click and you go to stack and orient, you may have to take one and flip it. by, you go to right click, modify, flip, and then I guess rotate. And now if you select both of those and you go to shift right click, stack and orient, it should put them right on top of each other. And then you'll have to just find a space for them.
Wait, so you want them on top of each other so when you like indent something, it'll go for the other side?
Exactly. So that is something that you might want to do from time to time. I don't know why this one is out here. It's kind of rogue. Let's see what that's doing. So this one should match with probably this one, so we can do the same thing. In fact, that's weird. They're different. Let me UV automatic those and see if it can do a better job. What did we end up with? Okay, that's much better. So now I'll take these two and stack and orient. Let's see if that works. It's not working because they're flipped. So I need to take this one. Again, it's right click, modify, flip, then select them, stack and orient. The problem is if you do a layout after you do a stack and orient, it'll separate them again. So yeah, the difficult thing is you now have to like find a spot for them, and we have a lot of stuff that we can stack and orient, so maybe you want to take some time to do that. Now the last thing that I will tell you is, let's say that for example you want these two. Maybe you're gonna do like a pattern on here that's gonna come up here, and you don't want to have a seam. You might be able to see like a little bit of a line between these two, but you really don't want that line. Another thing you could do is you could take this edge right here, and unfortunately you have to just take the time to select it all one at a time,
Why don't you double click it?
because that'll select the whole circle, and I just want to get this top edge. And now that I've done that, you can see that they match up right there. I can do a move and sew, and they'll stick together. Now that might cause a little bit of distortion around that area. Actually, it turned out really nice. So again, that is just if you really need to make sure that nothing has a seam, because otherwise this will have a seam. Other than that, I think with the program that we're using, everything has to be on one space like this. So you got to get everything to fit. It's okay to stack shells on top of each other as long as they're the same thing. This is not going to work. So I would need to figure out what's going on. Probably these two need to be stacked, so I'd probably pull them out here. Let's try stack and orient. That didn't work, so let me try rotating it first. Is that the same object? It looks like it is. Yeah, so let me try that again, stack and orient. Cool. Now I could just put these back in there. Now I'm finding some more space. Just pull that in, bring it in there. And you really want to optimize this space. You don't want to have very much blank space, because the smaller these are, well, you want those squares to be the same size. They should all look like that. Once you've got all that done, and there's nothing laying on top of each other, then you can move into the next program. I don't know why mine are laying on top of each other now. I thought that it wasn't like that before. I must have done something at some point. But anyway, do an automatic, stack the shells. If it does not look clean like this, like you don't have these nice perfect shells, you might need to call me over. Oh, and again, cylinders, they need to probably be done separately. I'll do this one last time. These are 4 shells right here. Now you could just do this actually. Take these edges and snap them together. Move and sew, move and sew, and move and sew, and it's done. So there you go. You don't have to do that other thing. Now this face right here, let me get this shell. Let me just check it. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so yeah. Our job is very easy. I wonder if I could just move and sew these 4. I probably could. If you wanted to manually just move and sew these together, you could do that as well. So yeah, I guess life just got easier. I will save this video if you need to watch any of it.